So it says my girlfriend says I should tip wait staff at restaurants. I say they're they're just doing their job like construction workers and fast food employees. Who's right? As long as all service staff are doing their job and getting paid an hourly wage, there is no reason to tip anyone.
Now that should be the case.
Now, here's what it says. Today, my partner spoke to me for the third time about why she disagrees with my belief and practice of not tipping waitresses. To me, as long as all service staff are doing their job and getting paid an hourly wage, there's no reason to tip anyone, whether they mess up my order or give me great service. I don't understand why waitresses need to be tipped when they're like all other service staff, such as construction workers, cleaners, fast food attendees, etc. I'm not expected to tip all other service staff, so why is she bothering me about tipping the waitress every single time we go to a restaurant? They're doing their job like everybody else. So, Core, what's your opinion on this?
All right. So the reason why it's customary to tip waiters and waitresses and wait staff is because they weren't getting paid at the normal hourly wage that everybody else was getting paid at. And so what was happening is the customers was taking on. Now the business should pay them enough where you shouldn't have to tip them. Let's be very, very clear about that. But because businesses in America are trash and are built on trash ethics, we've taken on the customary stance of tipping service people that are already being paid from another source. You know what I mean? So if that's the customary thing to do for those jobs, because we want people in those jobs and doing those jobs, then you should tip them for doing those jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And tip them at a customary rate. So I'm with that.
Yeah.
So I'm
So,
with his wife not, being down with the non-tipping stuff.
all right, here's the thing, right? So the average across the country, right, of salary of a waitress is like $2.31. So most businesses pay below the average minimum wage, which is like 7.50, seven and a quarter, somewhere around there. But the average for a waitress is about $2.31, and that's built in because they recognize that most will get tips. Now, some states mandate that you can't pay a waitress lower than minimum wage, so they're getting seven and a quarter plus tips. But most states isn't that way. So you're getting paid $2 an hour plus tips. So that's kind of how they make their living. It's like in a social contract we have that's unwritten. So I believe in tipping, and I consider myself
Yeah.
a pretty good tipper. But I read something this week that intrigued me. But I'm gonna go through these comments before I explain exactly what I read. GC said y'all going crazy in the chat tonight. Kev is in the building. What's good, Kev?
Was really good.
Watching Maxi go off. Yeah, it's preseason, beloved. Listen, I
Yeah.
love Maxi, but Kev, you got
Yeah,
Maxi.
you going overboard, bro.
So obligation is obligatory, and GC says that he doesn't tip. Okay, so Omar says it's only 10%. So Dex says that the original meaning of tip was to ensure promptness. Didn't know that. I'm actually out here learning something. I got to look up
Right?
CFCF and to ensure promptness. Hey, Dex, I'm just letting you know right now that I'm getting ready to use that in some form or fashion somewhere just to act like the smartest guy in the room. So I'm stealing that from you. So I hope you didn't make that up. So Adrian says, my sister and her friends make sure they raise the children around each other. The parents know each other. So they're trying to create an environment where they marry them. What's going
Married
to happen?
off their kids to somebody that they know.
Until
I'm with that.
until they're disappointed when they go outside of that circle.
Yeah, man.
Goofball servers make 213 plus tips. Yeah. All right. So GC kind of says that he doesn't eat in restaurants. So I mean, if you're not eating in a restaurant, it's different. But I mean, you still could tip depending upon where place is. He don't like sitting inside restaurants. I respect that. Yeah. He said find a new partner because dude is cheap. Servers didn't get paid more than a few dollars because tips are expected. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly that. I mean. So Adrian said that's a red flag for me. If I'm on a date and he says he doesn't believe in tipping, bye. I tip well if the service was good. All right.
I said, well, if the service was ass, because like they still worked.
So went to a sports bar last night after 10 p.m. 18% is automatic on the receipt. Receipt said edit tip to discretion. Cussed out the manager. He talking about company policy, but it's not on the receipt. That's
So what they normally charge a gratuity for anything over 6 people. and then the tip on top of that, right?
No, but
Because
some restaurants they just have a mandatory like. So I've been in places where, but usually they tell you
yeah,
beforehand.
no, it normally, yeah, they'll put it right by the front door. I haven't
Yeah,
actually been anywhere that doesn't do that. So wherever this was is kind of
yeah,
trash.
they was trying to they was trying to get Lou for his chicken.